waking up, but I still see a lot of people who are stuck in the old ways, and they believe in everything the doctor's saying, and then they do what the doctors say. So, and then they keep on suffering. So it just because that's the wrong direction. You need to take control of your own health. Right. I remember telling somebody, this philosophy, even when I was in medical school, I thought it was ludicrous, maybe because I came from a Chinese culture. In medical school, they said, you as a doctor, you're going to become a doctor. Once you become a doctor, you should never attempt to treat yourself or your family. It's as if I'm going to be so blinded by my love for my family that I can't think straight. I can't do the right things. Okay, so I have to give my autonomy up and go to somebody else and tell everything about myself to that person, so that person can understand who I am and then give me the right things. I'm never going to be able to spill out everything about myself to that person. There's nobody that knows myself better than myself. Yeah. And to say that I'm a doctor, so I should never write medications for myself and I should never write medications for my patients, that just shows you the philosophy of the whole medical system in this country. It takes your autonomy away. It doesn't respect that you have the intelligence to take care of your own body.
Correct.
And that's got to change. And it is changing. But I would tell you but right away I thought this is madness. It's like I can't treat myself now because I know too much and I'm just going to be blind.
Well, give yourself a little credit and give yourself a little grace for yourself, because you've come through a process to give you a license to speak. You have the right to practice medicine. That means you've arrived at that PubMed level of, you're clear to go in terms of practicing medicine.
Oh, I knew I had to finish medical school for good reason.
Yes, and that is a distinction that's highly honorable and respectable and fantastic. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, okay, everybody, let's really look at the science. What does the science actually say? What's the microbiome say? What does PubMed say about really what the leading pioneering stuff going on right now? Will be very supportive of everything you're saying. But we're not. A great example is I'm not allowed to put any PubMed links on our website at Raw Farm.
That is ludicrous.
That's insane.
Yes.
That's crazy, because that means that none of our consumers can ever connect good science with practice. They can never put together the math between food is medicine.
Well, just like a lot of rules from the higher ups, it's not even making sense. No. But then there were people say, well, they're trying to protect us. So everything they say, then we believe. Yeah, I would like these organizations to explain their policy. Like what could be any, plausible reason that this could be even a reasonable, stipulation? Like why? What? Just like, for example, I don't understand why stem cell therapy, the moment you talk about the cells being alive, then you are speaking of the metabolic activity of the cells. And that means the cells become a drug. And then you have to conduct clinical studies. So this is no longer tissue transplant. What?
Yeah.
Explain that to me.
I've been sued by the FDA for putting PubMed, CDC, NIH links to European studies, and a lot of them, because I was creating a new drug by suggesting that this science applied to our milk, and therefore people could get better.
Okay, all right.
That's FDA cleared, PubMed, NIH, CDC links. Not mine, theirs.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm a new drug guy.
That's pretty interesting. So we actually are facing the same battles,
Yes, we are.
You with milk and me with stem cells.
It's interesting when you say stem cells, because raw milk has stem cells in it. And it's like, well, that's very interesting that Mother Nature would have stem cells in raw milk. First food of life. Stem cells. Okay. We know that the digestive tract of a baby is very immature. The pH isn't the same as an adult. And the digestive process, the leaky gut is very permeable to absorb antibodies that it wouldn't later in life. All kinds of interesting things. But Mother Nature's blueprints are, in my opinion, kind of the really good reference point to understand so much more about about health and about well-being because of the blueprints that have, for a million years have evolved, telling us this is the way you've got to do it, or you've died off if you didn't. And that's why I really hang out with these really smart PhDs at the IMGC, because they talk about this all the time, and it brings so much logic to such an incredibly vast, incomprehensible infinity of information. It brings logic to it.